One of the experiences I had that really influenced what we're trying to accomplish within the app and organizing people and activating them for a larger cause was based on the experience I had in the community I lived in South Los Angeles County. I lived in a city that I really enjoyed the people there. I enjoyed where it was, and we had our own private police force. And we found that the private police force was being funded by a measure that had been voted in that city years ago, and it was about to expire, which meant that the funding of the police force, the private force that we had, the local one, was in jeopardy. And there was a lot of discussion about just being taken over by the Los Angeles County sheriffs. And a lot of us that lived in this city felt like, wow, we are really going to take a hit in terms of the personalized service we're getting out of our police force. So that was a situation where I had no experience in this regard before, but I thought somebody's got to jump in. And that was the first experience where I had, why do I keep saying that? Why do people keep saying that? That might as well be me this time. So I jumped in, and I didn't know what to do or how to go about things, but a number of us organized ourselves around the notion of we've got to get a new measure put on the ballot so that we can continue to fund our police force. So we teamed up with the local police organization and had a lot of discussions with them about what they brought to the community, the relationships they had, the value they had that just didn't translate to a piece of paper very well. If you were to do a side-by-side comparison of the police force versus the sheriffs, what services do we have? How are they different? People don't understand that. They think they're indifferent on whether they have the police or they have the sheriffs. They think it's all the same thing. And oh, by the way, when this measure expires, my property taxes go down. So I'm happy about that. And we thought, well, that's all about education, because in that situation, you do get what you pay for. So we set out to form an organization of community members where we all got together and decided that we could do something about it. And at first we had great response. A lot of people came out and said, yeah, I want the police force to remain, but there's a lot of misinformation out there about what it means, how much we're paying for that. It's very expensive, and maybe the sheriffs are going to be just as good. So we got together and decided we were going to put a team together, and turns out that a few of us really led the charge on gathering the information about specifically and objectively what services do we get out of one versus the other. And then we thought, well, we have to get out to the community and make sure that they're just educated. They can vote the way they want to vote, but it would just, the biggest shame would be to say people voted in a way that was uneducated, or they just didn't know what they were doing. And that's part of what's central to the app, is helping people understand things through education, so they make an informed choice about things. So the long story short on that is that I ended up going and doing, I had a precinct, and I walked the precinct and went door to door, knocked on doors. Never thought I would ever do something like that, just to say, here's some information about the choices that are coming up on the November ballot that you should be aware of. And I met with people that were so happy that somebody just said, I am going to step up and take action here and get the information out. And then others were just angry for reasons that I just did, that there was not even a reason sometimes. And so what I found is that by getting the education out there and helping people come together for a cause that they believe in, that we all thought was really a better outcome for the community, it was so empowering, because the people who came together and got involved and did things that they knew were going to have an impact, it just raised the energy levels so much. And so in the end, we won, and it passed on the ballot by the biggest margin of any ballot initiative in that city. And what was so inspiring to me is that the group that came together and rolled up our sleeves and just kept committing more and more time and effort to it. And again, none of us knew how to do it. We just figured it out. That became such a family that we were like, man, we took the mountain. It was almost insurmountable to us to get this thing accomplished, because it was expensive and there was a lot of negativity around property taxes going up. But in the end, the majority of the community, after learning about it, found out that it was for the best to keep it. They voted it in. They're happy about it. And as a team, we felt so empowered. We actually thought, what can we do next? What's the next project we should take on? Because we found that together, we could do things that we didn't even dream of that we could do, and certainly could never even contemplate as an individual. So that relates to where we're going with the app, because when people understand that if I get involved and I know what's going on, I don't have to be the person that knows how to do it. I can just jump in and we'll figure it out together. And the energy level that rises out of that can accomplish enormous things. So that really inspired me to try to create an environment like we're doing with the app where people can just get involved and accomplish far more than they could ever accomplish on their own. And the app is that environment that allows you to bring those people together.